Happy Saturday from Yokohama, Japan. If you are joining me here from Twitter or Periscope, or today I connected my YouTube channel. So I don't know how this is going to work, but if you are here joining me on YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by. Hey, Alston, I never know how to pronounce your name, Alton. Good morning, Andrea. So thank you so much for stopping by. Um, hey, Joni, good morning. If we are new here, my name is Kim, and I am an elementary school teacher here in Yokohama, Japan. Hey, hello to you in Florida, Pete. How's it going? More beautiful sunsets. It's morning here. Hey, Paul. Good morning. And it's 100% chance of rain today. Hey, Marley. Good to see you. Hanging in there, Andrea. Yet, hey, Joey. Great to see you. Thank you. Sending all our love to you in New York. Peter, great to see you. We've got Stanley. Great. That makes it easy. Hey, Stanley. Peter, good to see you. We're all over the world here. Joanne, how's it going, Joanne? How's things in good old SoCal? Um, I'm from Los Angeles, for those of you that don't know. Uh, no, you don't, Tony. I'm not a very good caretaker, as I'm learning, taking care of my mom. I am a good dog mom. I'm a great dog mom. um, Tracy, great to see you. Thank you, everybody. And I apologize in advance if I miss you by name. I did drive to work, Andrea. There is 100% chance of rain, possible snow, but very, like where I live in Yokohama, um, a very slim chance. But in other parts of Japan, it's going to be a big snow day and winds. So I thought, it's my Saturday. I only work 3 classes and then go home. So I'll be able to go home for lunch. Going to pick up a few supplies on the way back because, as you guys know, my mom is getting over a bout with a stomach thing. Well, actually, not a stomach thing, a colon. Colon? Colitis, some form of colitis, but she's doing well. Last weekend was crazy because, as you know, Japan is in a state of emergency. that I should. Well, I've dealt I've dealt with poop and throw up all week. So this is what it's like teaching during a state of emergency because it's not my mindset and it's not my choice, but my school and a lot of schools here in Japan, even though certain areas have declared states of emergency, are saying that for children's mental health and to assist working parents, it is better to hold school in person rather than teaching online, rather than doing Zoom lessons or Google Meet lessons. They want the children to be able to be with their friends. Hey, thanks for subscribing, British Spy. Thank you so much. Hey, Fides, good morning. So they want the students to come, be with their classmates, be in an environment which is friendly, nurturing, etc., rather than be at home, um, perhaps doing nothing. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Hey, sending good cheer to you in Los Angeles, my old stomping grounds. Great to see you here, Jesse. Yeah. Oh, it could be much better. So I question whether or not it's truly mentally better for our children to be in the schools in person. I will admit that when I'm in the classroom, my students feel safe. They feel like there's somebody in there that is caring about them. And I'm my same usual self. I still dress strange and weird, and I try to make it as pleasant a class time for them as I can, because that's the last thing. You don't want them worrying about the pandemic. But what do you do when you've got a student that's tested positive? How do you keep, oh, Jesse, I know my aunt, my relatives live there still, and I'm worried and concerned. My friends, the people I grew up with. Yeah, right. Well, how to protect your teachers, your staff, your faculty that works there. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday. So we go into school, we take every precautions, we wear our masks, we take our temperature before going in. The students are requested to take their temperature, and you have to trust that the parents are doing this. I teach grades 1, 2, and 4, so my I know, all over the world. My students range in age from 6 years old, and in fourth grade, they're turning 10 years old. So I've got 6 year olds, 7 year olds, 8 year olds, and 10 year olds. And right now in Japan, even though there's a state of emergency, there's a lot of people that are not. Mm, they're not as worried or as concerned as I think they should be. Right, Angel? So this happened last Saturday, but we were not informed until Monday. We were informed that a student tested positive. He comes from single parent home, and his mom tested negative twice. So where did he get the virus from? It's one of those untraceable cases. Most likely, probably from the home, because the mother had cases. Yes, we have a thermal camera at the entrance of our school. And hey, Ellie, how you doing? Hello to you in Jerusalem. We really do have so many international people here. We're from all over. So thanks if you are stopping by. Um, so yeah, so we've got two thermal cameras, and you've got to come in, and as you go in and you get your temperature, it also takes your photo, which I think is great because then we have a record of what everybody's temperature is, what time they reported to work, and that they're in the building. So it's not only students, it's teachers, workers, guests, visitors, people, delivery people, everybody that enters the campus has their temperature taken. If they have a temperature, or if there is a possible risk, um, this voice in Japanese comes on saying, that uh, there's a possibility, or they need to isolate them to do like more, not testing, but just to double check. And yeah, we don't know, Angel. Good question. And that's the thing, we don't know a lot of things that are happening, or what things mean, right? So if you get text, or if you get the machine goes off with a temperature, you have to go into this other room and get checked by our school doctor. Hey, Myrna, good morning. Now, if you're not wearing your mask, it's interesting because the thermal camera also says, hey, you're not wearing a mask, in Japanese, of course. Great to see you too. Thanks for stopping by. So we enter the school, we go there. There's sinks and places to wash your hands everywhere. Every classroom has hand sanitizer or alcohol spray, but not every classroom is using it. Not every classroom is using it. And as I think I've told everybody, I told you all yesterday in yesterday's broadcast, I was really unhappy with a lot of things that were going on. So I wrote an email to the administration, the entire staff, the office. It was a little scary, but I think in any workplace, it doesn't matter whether you work at a school, whether you work in an office, if you feel, hey, Peter, good morning to you guys. Thank you so much, Peter, for this platform. I'm just so amazed right now because we're in here talking. We've got people from all over the world, and I appreciate you so much on this app, and giving those of us that come from Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, wherever we're from, to gather here. So thank you so much. So today I'm talking about what it's like teaching during a state of emergency here in Japan. So as I told you, right, vaccines for teachers and will probably not be available till maybe in May. Hey, thanks, Pablo. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, two Pete's, Peter and Pete. Thanks for your reactions. Uh, Quite possibly the vaccines will start in February at the end, but not for teachers. There's like a priority list. Priority list is still under negotiations, I believe. Yes, they are recommending, or they are hoping, that teachers will be vaccinated in one of the high priority groups, but of course, essential workers like our medical staff, those, of course, are first and foremost. There are some debates about the elderly. May, yeah. Yeah, compare. I know there's my teacher friends in Los Angeles and in Montana have already gotten the vaccine. Depends, Fides. Depends what you consider very good, and it depends what types of things you're interested in. Yeah, so nothing at the moment. It's a big question mark. So you would think that the children, hey Travis, good morning. You would think that children, students, would be a little bit more concerned about making sure your workplace is safe. And when I wrote that letter, I wasn't calling any individuals out, but I was pointing some things that to me scream we're not taking this as seriously as we should be. For example, and I know they sound funny and right, maybe you'll think, oh, SOE is state of emergency, Joshua. I didn't know if it would fit in my title, so I just kind of acronymed it state of emergency, which in Japan, it's not a national emergency, but certain prefectures, such as where I live in Kanagawa Prefecture, which is right next to Tokyo, both Tokyo and Kanagawa are among the prefectures that have called a state of emergency. State of emergency is officially until February 7th, but they are planning or thinking about extending it to another month, March 7th. State of emergency is nowhere near as strict as it is in other countries. Everything is done with a request, like they're requesting places to close, requesting places to shorten their hours, requesting businesses to work remotely. But there are no penalties at this point or at this stage if places do not follow those rules or requests. They can shame them or publicly humiliate them by posting their names in the newspaper or broadcasting it in the media, but there is no uh, fines as of yet. That's kind of, I think there's some talk about perhaps making the laws a little bit stricter if people break quarantine now. So, for example, if people are coming and they test positive and they're asked to quarantine at their homes, the guidelines are still very vague. If you are a foreigner, such as myself, an expat, and you're here on whatever visa you're on, and you break a certain quarantine rule, or you're told to stay in quarantine and you go out, um, it's just everything's so vague. You could risk losing your visa. So I have a permanent residence visa, which allows me to stay and work in Japan without having to renew it with a company or with my place of work every year. But should I do anything, that might jeopardize that, it could easily be taken away, which is really scary. And right now, there's still a lot of strict rules about people coming in and out. As you know, there's a lot of programs in Japan where Japan hires teachers from other countries to come and teach English, to come and teach in international schools, to do business. They have different places that offer positions for people in other countries to come and work in Japan. And right now, that's all at a standstill. And for teachers, especially people like on the JET program, which is what I started out on, for people that really want to come and teach in Japan, right now it's a big question mark as to when and how. A lot of schools are also saying, look, we don't want to hire, or we don't want any I think so, Travis, but right now I don't even know if anybody can even come in. I'm really not sure. It's getting stricter, and it's, yeah. I grew up in the US. I grew up in Los Angeles. There's some people here in Los Angeles. I was born in Texas and raised in Los Angeles. Grew up in the public school system, taught in the public school system in Los Angeles. So now that I'm in Japan teaching in a private school, and may I say, an elite private school that's connected to a major university in Japan, it's very new to me. And the mindset and dealing with things that are so different from my culture and my experiences is really difficult sometimes and challenging. I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it. And I'm thinking maybe, maybe fate brought me in this situation because I'm not afraid to speak up, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, look, this is going on. Yay. LA girl at heart. What's that saying? You can take the girl out of LA, but you can never take the LA out of the girl. So hey, thanks for stopping by, Arcola. Michael, thanks for your comment. Once again, guys, I apologize if I miss you by name, but thank you so much for being here. So yeah, so yesterday we had a little incident. I like your name, Boom Boom. Parents say, well, that's the thing, the mindset. Oh, there's similarities and there's differences. Um, Japan is a very group oriented society. So a lot of the way they teach is also very group oriented. Um, they find my American attitude confusing because it's in a Japanese ancestry body, perhaps. But, I feel like my school, and I agree with this part, they understand that parents are paying, a great amount of money to get their child educated. That being said, I don't know whether or not it's they're paying big money and going through these, big hoops, or taking these tests, the entrance exams, when children are just 5 years old to get into my school system. I don't know whether they're paying for the education or whether they're paying for the reputation that goes along with the name of my school. And it could be, the same in other countries, because I know, like, for example, in California there's certain schools, right, that have a great reputation, and maybe the education is not as good as some of the other schools, but you have that name behind you, you have a network of people. Sometimes it's not about, right, it's not about all the things that you learn here, it's about the connections that you have, unfortunately. um Travis, exactly, and I think, sometimes that is the mindset. I'm sorry, I keep watching my time because I've got to make sure I get into school on time. I could talk to you guys for hours. But yeah, I think sometimes, right, they're paying, and so they're expecting that they're getting the best. And one of the things I find very interesting about the school I work at is that we are very well respected. For instance, we have students that have had, they have parents of nationalities other than Japanese, and we have students that they're, of Japanese ancestry, not Japanese American, but that grew up in other countries or were born in other countries. Uh, I don't. Westlake, I'm familiar with. Westlake, I'm familiar. In a sense, yes. In a sense, because people are trying to get their child into our school so that they can have their child attend this university without having to take all the uh, entrance exams, the competitive exams to get into a uh, well-known university. Um, yeah, I do work half day today, Peter. Yay! Three classes of second grade, so I'm geared for second grade. It's the oh, I pinned my Pikachu. It's the bling today. But yeah, so teaching during a pandemic or during a state of emergency. I'll give you a quick one before I run to school. Yesterday, the student that tested positive for COVID was in my class virtually. And it was, I must say, it wasn't, it was different. So what they did was, the homeroom teacher brought in a tripod with the iPad attached to it, and there was the child in his bed, you know with watching my classroom. So we put him right in his seat. His the tripod was right where he would normally sit in class. All his classmates were super happy. Hey, thanks, Peter. High five to you back. Thank you. So, yeah, so all the kids were super excited to have him in the class. The tripod was set up. We went about our class. When I asked questions, I went right up to the tripod, and we did our lesson as normal as possible. We sang our songs, we did all our stuff, and I'd like to say that the student felt included. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I'd like to say that there was no they're always afraid of the bashing or the, oh God, Kwame, great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've got to get to school in a little bit, but great to see you. Thank you. Strange times, yeah. So he was there, right? We waved, we did everything. And I really think it was a good experience for him to feel as if he was included, and also for the other students to not be afraid to have him there. Yeah, it did felt very robotic. Other thing I had that happened in my classroom, we were doing a Wheel of Fortune game. Wheel of Fortune, dun 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 dun. The music was playing. I was dancing like I always do, getting ready. I had my little fake mic because I was going to play game show host. So I'm dancing around, da da da, and they're all going, Kim Sensei, like calling my name, right? Like, like I was like, wait, the song's not over. Just dun, dun. Kim Sensei, so and so just threw up. So in the back row, in the very back of my class, I see a big pile, and the student lost his lunch. Tiguan, great to see you. I don't know about beautiful, but we'll take it today on this kind of gloomy, rainy day. Vicky, my cousin. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. I've got to get to class soon, but thanks for stopping by. So yeah, so all fun. So all the kids are going, he threw up, he threw up. And immediately you have to think, all right, you have to wonder whether or not it's influenza related, hopefully not COVID related. If he just had too much to eat for lunch, you have to take the precautions. And we have a protocol where you have to call we have a maintenance crew because they have to sanitize everything. Yeah, Travis, that's my cousin. So be nice. My blood cousin, people. So we had to call the um, maintenance people so that they could bring all the sterilization kits, and then I had to call the health office and the nurse to make sure, right, to see if the child needed to be escorted down to the health office or if the child could walk on their own, all that kind of stuff. Do you remember, like, back when I went to elementary school like 50 years ago, they just brought this bucket of sawdust, like where I grew up, right? There was always a too much curry rice. So they had this bucket of sawdust, and when somebody like threw up, they come and they just threw sawdust over it, and you'd come to school and you'd see the sawdust and you'd be like, oh God, somebody threw up. And yeah, so here, right, they come up. I don't know what they did. Yeah, it was confirmed that the student ate too much helping of curry rice, which is like a curry. It was a chicken curry yesterday, and rice. Ate way too much. Yeah, exactly, Vicky. Just and was gone. So, oh, Cupid, boom, boom, English, English, and that's still pretty much the only language I know fluently. So yeah, you guys all remember sawdust? Good. Then it makes me feel good that I'm not well, I am old, but that some of you remember it. So yeah, so the maintenance people came, they got it all sterilized. My kids went back to school as normal. And then the kid came back. The kid actually came back and, felt fine. And I told the homeroom teacher, and all was great. But in my head, I was thinking, oh my gosh, a kid just threw up all this week. I had my mom throwing up on Saturday. I had Sinbad having a little poop explosion the other day, but both are fine. Yeah. Well, I thought, right, they have to close it down. They've got to get everything all cleaned up because you just never know, right? So these are the fun things that you go on, and you just, in your mind, you have to just think, I hope everything's okay, because you don't want to um, be the reason why something spreads, and you take every single precaution that you can, but you hope that everybody else is too. Thanks, Peter. Just in here and maybe here. Anyways, guys, it's almost that time, so I'm going to start masking up. I'm going to show you this new mask that I got. I got it at the convenience store, and I'm really, really happy with it. I usually use this brand. It's the Iris Healthcare brand, but it's a beauty fit mask. Get this, poop happens naturally. Yeah, no, Angel, no kidding. Poopy week, throw uppy week. I like this picture. I just got it at the convenience store a couple of days ago. I'm going to get more because I'm going to open mine. I don't even have to use my bracket with this one. So this one, look at the shape of it, because it fits around your chin very snugly, as if it were a teddy bear. And right, that's the important thing, is to make sure your gaps, that there's no gaps. The other thing I like is there's two wires. You have your nose wire and you have your middle wire, and that's what kind of makes the pocket. Iris, yes, Jill, it's the Iris Healthcare brand. There you go. Um, and the reason why it's shaped like that is because it's supposed to make your face look slimmer. Not that it matters. Vanity for me went out the window with all the things, with COVID. It's just, you've got to take care. You've got to mask up in a way that's going to make you safe at your workplace. So, right, you can kind of see it has a little pocket, and you can you can adjust the middle wire so you've got a nice pocket. I don't have to use the bracket, but I can put it on. Travis, stay safe. Mask to you. I can adjust it like so. And right. And right here, it's so soft. Not that any of you are going to be touching my chin, and not that none of the kids are, but I like this middle wire. A lot of masks do have that middle wire because it just makes you have an easier breathing pocket. Right? Exactly. Convenience stores, the vending machines. So you could see this is all snug. This, even though it looks like a flap, that this little soft part here, it goes right on the chin, and it almost feels like I don't know, it's just not sponsored, by the way. This is not sponsored, but I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. I'll check, and if I do, I'll put a link somewhere. They have the instructions, but it's just very, very comfortable. And you guys know me, I'm in a mask all day. Take it off at lunch, and then I put a new one on at lunchtime. So we're good to go. I didn't even have to use the spray because it's new. So let me get my jacket on, because it's going to be chilly today. And what's my time? 8:05. I will get into the workplace. And yeah, Vicki, it's really comfortable. I wonder if they have it in the US. Masks are not in any shortage at the moment. Like I'm challenged. I just tried to put my hand or my arm through a pocket hole. And you're a teacher when you put your hand in a pocket and tissues come out. Peace and hair grace to you, Kwame. Thank you. I've been missing that. So great to have you here. Go with glasses of. Oh, good question, Stanley. They do have special masks that have something so that glasses don't fog up, because there's a lot of people here in Japan that wear glasses. 16 degrees in Chicago. I was going to say, oh, that's pretty warm, but I was thinking Celsius. I think today's going to be about 7 degrees Celsius in, okay, Jill. Man, Jill, if I find a connection or something, I'll let you know. All right, guys, I've got to go to the battlefield, which in this case is the classroom, but I feel pretty well protected. I've got all your energy in me to get through today. And then I have a little bit of a weekend, and hopefully it won't be like last Saturday where I had to spend it dealing with more vomit. But Mom is doing great. So thank you for your well wishes. Everybody take care. Emily is on the loose. I have to escape. I actually have to go to class, Emily, but thanks for stopping by. I wish I had my little kitty. I know. I wish I could say, hey, who wants to go teach for me? Yeah. My school has classes on Saturday. Some private schools do. So I get Wednesdays off, so that's not bad. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, Jill, I'll keep an eye on that so I can. Oh, I know. Next time I will. There's one day I did film I did it in the classroom. So maybe next Saturday. We'll have to do that. So you can see my workplace. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Haps, for hosting our. This is like it's so cool hosting Periscope peeps, Twitter peeps, YouTube peeps, all of us that came in here. Haps, you're great. Thank you so much. Everyone, have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Emily, I'll even give you a Hello Kitty sticker for that. All right, guys, take care. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. All right, bye. No, 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 just a regular elementary school attached to a major university. All right.